All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Valedictory session of National Conclave on natural farming at 11 a.m. today. Union Cabinet approves implementation of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana for 2021-26. Government also approves 76,000 crore rupees scheme to boost semiconductors and display manufacturing in the country. President Ram Nath Kovind to attend Bangladesh's Bijoy Divas celebrations in Dhaka this morning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lead the nation in commemorating 50 years of India's victory over Pakistan in 1971 war. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in Kulgam district of Jammu and Kashmir. UNESCO adds Durga Puja to its representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. United Nations nuclear watchdog IAEA and Iran reach an agreement to reinstall cameras at Iranian nuclear site. India bags 3 more medals at Commonwealth Weightlifting Championships in Tashkent, taking total tally to 12. And Indian women's football team beat Bhutan by 3-0 to secure their second consecutive victory in SAF Under-19 Championships in Dhaka. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause of concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now, the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the farmers during the valedictory session of the National Conclave on natural farming at 11 a.m. today in Anand, Gujarat via video conferencing. The summit brings in focus on natural farming. Farmers will be provided with all requisite information detailing the benefits of adopting natural farming methods. The Prime Minister urged those associated with agriculture and the world of agro-based startups to join this conclave.
देश भर के किसान मेरे इस निमंत्रण का स्वीकार करें और मेरे साथ जुड़े। सरकार प्राकृतिक खेती पर, नेचुरल फार्मिंग पर एक बहुत बड़ा आयोजन करने जा रही है। हमारे एक पद्म पुरस्कार विजेता सुभाष जी करके हैं महाराष्ट्र के, उन्होंने जीरो बजट खेती का एक विचार विकसित किया है। ये वो प्राकृतिक खेती वाला विषय है। इससे हमारी धरती माँ भी बचती है, हमारा पानी भी बचता है और फसल भी अच्छी और पहले से ज्यादा होती है। मेरा आप सभी किसान साथियों को, देश भर के किसान साथियों को आग्रह है कि आप 16 दिसंबर को टीवी के माध्यम से या कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र के माध्यम से जरूर इस कार्यक्रम में जुड़िए। आप सारी बात को समझेंगे, मुझे पक्का विश्वास है आप उसको अपने खेत में लागू करेंगे।
The government has been driven by the Prime Minister's vision for farmer welfare. It has been committed towards ensuring an increase in productivity so that farmers are able to maximize their agri-potential. The government has initiated several measures to transform agriculture and increase farmers' income. Efforts are underway to promote and support initiatives leading to sustainability of the system, cost reduction, market access, and better value realization to farmers. Zero-budget natural farming is a promising tool to minimize the dependence of farmers on purchased inputs and reduces the cost of agriculture by relying on traditional field-based technologies which lead to improved soil health. Desi cow, its dung and urine play an important role from which various inputs are made on the farm and provide necessary nutrients to soil. President Ram Nath Kovind will attend the 50th Bijoy Divas celebrations this morning. The President, who is the only foreign dignitary in the Golden Jubilee celebrations of the independence of Bangladesh, will observe the marching contingents at the National Parade Ground in Dhaka. On this occasion, a 122-member tri-services contingent from the Indian Armed Forces will also participate in the parade. Both countries celebrate 16th December as Victory Day to mark the victory of joint forces over Pakistan to liberate Bangladesh. In Dhaka, briefing media persons last evening, Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla informed that in the delegation-level meeting, the President discussed various issues of mutual interest with his counterpart in Bangabhavan. Replying to the media, Mr. Shringla said, Indo-Bangladesh Friendship Pipeline is very important for both the countries, which will use the high-speed diesel from Numaligarh and pump it from Siliguri to Parbatipur. He said this project is expected to be inaugurated next year. The Foreign Secretary said, despite the coronavirus pandemic, bilateral trade has witnessed 14% increment in it last year, and Bangladesh exports to India crossed the $1 billion mark. Foreign Secretary informed that to discuss broader issues, the Director General of BSF will come to Dhaka at the invitation of his counterpart. Mr. Shringla also showed satisfaction over defence cooperation between both the countries. More from our correspondent.
President Ram Nath Kovind will attend the Vijay Diwas celebrations, the celebrations of independence of Bangladesh as guest of honor to mark the joint efforts of Indian Army and Mukti Bahini in the fight of independence of Bangladesh. A tri-services contingent from the Indian Armed Forces will also join the parade. On 16th December 1971, Joint Forces won Bangladesh Liberation War after signing of Instrument of Surrender by Pakistani Army. The victory of the Joint Forces ended 9 months-long brutality of the Pakistani Army, in which more than 30 lakh people killed. In the parade this morning, Wing Commander T. Asa Jyotirmayi, paratrooper from Indian Air Force, will join the Bangladesh parajumpers carrying the tricolour to mark the sacrifice of 1,660 brave soldiers of Indian Army who lost lives in the Liberation War. Sanjeev Kumar Singh, AIR News, Dhaka.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the homage and reception ceremony of Swarnim Vijay Mashals at the National War Memorial in New Delhi today as a part of the Swarnim Vijay Varsh celebrations to commemorate 50 years of India's victory in the 1971 war and the formation of Bangladesh. On the 16th of December last year, the Prime Minister had lit the Swarnim Vijay Mashal from the eternal flame at the National War Memorial. He also lit 4 flames that were to traverse along different directions. These 4 flames have traversed across the length and breadth of the country, including to Siachen, Kanyakumari, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Longewala, Rann of Kutch and Agartala. The flames were taken to key battle areas and also to the houses of gallantry award winners and veterans of the 1971 war. During the homage ceremony today, these 4 flames will be merged by the Prime Minister with the eternal flame at the National War Memorial. On the occasion of Defence Estates Day today, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will inaugurate a GIS-based automated water supply module which will be used for providing water connections in cantonment areas across the country. It will be the first such service by any civic body in the country. This module, based on the latest technology of geographic information system mapping, will be executed in the cantonment port areas under the administrative control of the Defence Estates Organisation, the Ministry of Defence. Speaking exclusively to All India Radio on the occasion of Defence Estates Day, which is celebrated on the 16th of December every year, Director General Defence Estates Ajay Kumar Sharma said the GIS-based application will significantly reduce the duration for water providing connections in the cantonment areas.
हम एक सेंटर ऑफ एक्सेलेंस की शुरुआत 16 दिसंबर जो हमारा डिफेंस स्टेट्स डे है उसमें माननीय रक्षा मंत्री आएंगे, वो इस सेंटर ऑफ एक्सेलेंस का शुभारंभ करेंगे, जिसमें हम ये चाहते हैं कि प्रीमियर एजेंसीज की तरह हमारा निडम इस कैपेसिटी को खुद बिल्ड करे और न केवल हम अपने ऑफिसर्स को इसमें लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजीज में ट्रेन करें, हम चाहते हैं कि और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के डिपार्टमेंट्स बल्कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के डिपार्टमेंट के ऑफिसर्स को भी हम लेटेस्ट सर्वे टेक्निक से ट्रेनिंग देना आरंभ करें.
The Cabinet has approved a program for development of semiconductors and display manufacturing ecosystem in the country. Briefing reporters after the Cabinet meeting in New Delhi yesterday, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur said 76,000 crore rupees will be spent on this project in the next 6 years. He said this will strengthen India's journey towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. Speaking on the occasion, Electronics and IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw said in the last 7 years, the country has reached $75 billion in the electronic manufacturing sector.
अगर हम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की लास्ट 7 इयर्स की जर्नी देखें, छोटी सी संख्या थी जब माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने देश के सामने संकल्प रखा कि हम आत्मनिर्भर होएंगे, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में विश्व में एक बड़ा स्थान ग्रहण करेंगे। तब हमारे विपक्षी साथियों ने कई तरह की बातें की, कई तरह के शब्द इस्तेमाल किए, लेकिन उस संकल्प पे अडिग तौर पे चलते रहे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, और 7 साल में आज हम $75 बिलियन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पे पहुंच चुके हैं। जिस रफ्तार से हम चल रहे हैं, अगले 6 साल में ये संख्या $300 बिलियन यानी रफली 20 लाख करोड़ के आसपास हमारी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पहुंचेगी।
The Cabinet has approved implementation of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana for 2021-26. The scheme will benefit about 22 lakh farmers, including 2.5 lakh scheduled caste and 2 lakh scheduled tribe farmers. Speaking to reporters, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur said an outlay of over 93,000 crore rupees will be spent. Terming the decision as historic, the minister said out of 93,000 crore rupees, 37,454 crore rupees will be central assistance to the states.
प्रधानमंत्री कृषि सिंचाई योजना के अंतर्गत आने वाले 4 जो कंपोनेंट्स हैं, इस योजना को 2021-22 से लेकर 25-26 तक चालू रखने का निर्णय किया गया है और इसके ऊपर कुल मिलाकर 93,000 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा खर्च आएगा। ये अपने आप में ऐतिहासिक निर्णय है।
The News Services Division brings you glimpses of the year 2021 in its special year-ender series, The Year That Was. Infrastructure creation in India had suffered for decades from multiple issues. Today we take a look at the National Master Plan for Multimodal Connectivity, Gati Shakti, which was launched earlier this year to address the issues related to infrastructure development. Gati Shakti, a digital platform, brings together 16 ministries including railways and roadways together for integrated planning and coordinated implementation of infrastructure connectivity projects. Launching Gati Shakti in October of this year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the master plan brings together government processes and other stakeholders together and also interlinks transport modes.
100 लाख करोड़ से भी अधिक की योजना लाखों नौजवानों के लिए रोजगार के नए अवसर लेकर के आने वाली गति शक्ति हमारे देश के लिए एक ऐसा नेशनल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मास्टर प्लान होगा जो होलिस्टिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की नींव रखेगा, हमारी इकोनॉमी को एक इंटीग्रेटेड और होलिस्टिक पाथवे देगा। अभी हम देखते हैं कि हमारे ट्रांसपोर्ट के साधनों में कोई तालमेल नहीं होता। गति शक्ति साइलोस को तोड़ेगी। भविष्य के रास्ते से हम इन सब रोडों को जितनी कठिनाइयां हैं उनको हटाएगी। इससे सामान्य मानके के लिए ट्रेवल टाइम में कमी आएगी और हमारी इंडस्ट्री की प्रोडक्टिविटी और भी बढ़ेगी। गति शक्ति हमारे लोकल मैन्युफैक्चरर ग्लोबली कॉम्पिटिटिव करने में भी बहुत बड़ी मदद करेगी।
PM Gati Shakti incorporates the infrastructure schemes of various ministries and state departments like Bharatmala, Sagarmala, inland waterways, land ports and Udan. Economic zones like textile clusters, pharmaceutical clusters, defense corridors, industrial corridors and agri-zones are covered to improve connectivity and to make Indian businesses more competitive. Let's hear more on this from our correspondent.
The launch of Gati Shakti Master Plan was a momentous occasion for an Atmanirbhar Bharat in the making. PM Gati Shakti is the result of Prime Minister's constant endeavor to build next generation infrastructure which improves ease of living as well as ease of doing business. For a long time, India's infrastructure sector was affected by interministerial delays, multiple layers of stakeholders and the culture of working in silos. This often led to a slow pace for infrastructure-led growth. PM Gati Shakti provides the public and the business community information regarding upcoming connectivity projects, other business hubs, industrial areas, and surrounding environment. This enables the investors to plan their businesses at suitable locations, leading to enhanced synergies. It also creates multiple employment opportunities and give a boost to the economy. With Suparna, Anupam Mishra, AIR News.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 2 terrorists were killed in an encounter with security forces in Redwani area of Kulgam district last night. Acting on specific information, security forces cordoned off the area on Wednesday evening. The search party of the security forces came under heavy fire from the hiding terrorists, which was retaliated, triggering the gunfight. Talking to AIR News, Jammu and Kashmir DGP Dilbag Singh said,
बीती रात रेडवानी एरिया कुलगाम जिला के अंदर एक ऑपरेशन लॉन्च किया गया था, जिसके अंदर टीआरएफ से वाबस्ता 2 दहशतगर्द मारे गए। बड़ी मकदार में असला और अम्यूनिशन वहां से पकड़ा गया है और ये ऑपरेशन एक खास इतला के ऊपर पुलिस और सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस द्वारा पिछली रात लॉन्च किया गया था।
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Valedictory session of National Conclave on Natural Farming at 11 a.m. today. Union Cabinet approves implementation of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana for 2021 to 2026. Government also approves 76,000 crore rupees scheme to boost semiconductor and display manufacturing in the country. President Ram Nath Kovind to attend Bangladesh's Vijay Diwas celebrations in Dhaka this morning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lead the nation in commemorating 50 years of India's victory over Pakistan in 1971 war. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in Kulgam district of Jammu and Kashmir. UNESCO adds Durga Puja to its representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. United Nations nuclear watchdog IAEA and Iran reach an agreement to reinstall cameras at Iranian nuclear site. India bags 3 more medals at Commonwealth Weightlifting Championships in Tashkent, taking total tally to 12. And Indian women's football team beat Bhutan by 3-0 to secure their 2nd consecutive victory in SAF Under-19 Championship in Dhaka. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Durga Puja in Kolkata has been inscribed on the Intangible Heritage List by UNESCO. In an important announcement, the Intergovernmental Committee of UNESCO's 2003 Convention on Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage has inscribed Durga Puja in Kolkata on the representative list of Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity during its 16th session being held at Paris in France. The committee commended Durga Puja for its initiatives to involve marginalized groups and individuals as well as women in their participation in safeguarding the element. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that it is a matter of great pride and joy for every Indian. In a tweet, he said, Durga Puja highlights the best of Indian traditions and ethos, and Kolkata's Durga Puja is an experience everyone must have. United Nations nuclear watchdog and Iran have reached a deal to reinstall cameras damaged at an Iranian site that manufactures centrifuge parts. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, said it has been given access once again by Iran to a centrifuge parts manufacturing facility in Karaj to replace cameras that were damaged or destroyed when the site was targeted by a sabotage attack in June this year. IAEA Director General Rafael Mariano Grossi said this is important for verification under the Iran nuclear deal, and the work will continue to address other outstanding safeguards issues.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember educationist, writer and journalist Umesh Chandra Datta, who was born on the 16th of December 1840 in the South 24 Parganas. He was a pioneer Brahmo Samaj activist who left his mark in various fields of society.
Umesh Chandra joined Brahmo Samaj in 1859 and very soon came close to Keshav Chandra Sen and firmly established the Brahmo Samaj in Harinavi, West Bengal. When the Brahmo Samaj was divided into two sections, Umesh Chandra became one of the popular activists of the section under Keshav Chandra Sen. In 1863, Umesh Chandra, along with a few other young activists, established the Bama Bodhini Sabha. The main objective of this Sabha was to educate and uplift the condition of Bama, or women, in the society. He edited the Bama Bodhini Patrika for 40 years till 1902. This newspaper had an important role in the emancipation of women and spread of female education. The Bama Bodhini Patrika continued till 1922. He also edited two weeklies, the Dharma Sadho and Bharat Sanskarak.
Umesh Chandra had taught in several schools. In 1893, he opened a school for the deaf and dumb at Moniktala in Kolkata. He was a member of the Executive Committee of Bethune College in Kolkata and a member of the Senate of Kolkata University, and thus he contributed a lot to these institutions. Umesh Chandra led a very simple life, and hence he was called an ascetic by people. He died in 1907. We salute this great reformer who worked for women's upliftment and their education.
We also remember advocate of democracy and a staunch supporter of empowerment of the depressed classes, Panaganti Ramaraya Ningar, who left us on 16th of December 1928. Also known as Raja of Panagal, Ramaraya Ningar was one of the founder members of the Justice Party and the Premier of Madras Presidency from 11th of July 1921 to the 3rd of December 1926.
Ramaraya Ningar was born into an aristocratic family of Kalahasti, Andhra Pradesh. His public life began when he was selected as member of North Arcot District Board. In 1912, he became a member of the Imperial Legislative Council in Delhi. In 1918, he was awarded the title of Diwan Bahadur. He was also made a member of the Imperial War Council the same year. Back in Madras, meanwhile, the non-Brahmin movement was gaining momentum. With the formation of the Justice Party, Ramaraya Ningar joined it and was soon recognized as one of its leading lights. He was sent to England to depose before a parliamentary committee on the condition of the non-Brahmins in South India. In 1921, Ramaraya Ningar became the Chief Minister.
The Panagal administration was known for some far-reaching reforms. Reservation and government jobs was brought in, thereby putting Madras on the route to inclusivity. The administration of temples and mutts came under a newly formed Hindu Religious Endowments Board. Panaganti Ramaraya Ningar continued to remain active in politics and served as the president of the Justice Party until his death on the 16th of December 1928. We salute this great Indian.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
AIR News will broadcast a special roundup today on unsung heroes of the Indian freedom movement in our series Veer Gatha at 4:45 p.m. in the program Parikrama. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by the Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago. Indian weightlifters Poonam Yadav, Arokya Alish and Vikas Thakur have added 3 more medals to the country's tally at the ongoing Commonwealth Weightlifting Championships 2021 in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Poonam bagged a silver medal in the women's 76 kg category, having lifted a total of 220 kilograms with 98 kg snatch and a 122 kg in clean and jerk. So far, India have won 12 medals at the Commonwealth Championships, including 3 golds.
Indian Under-19 women's football team secured their second consecutive victory in the SAF Under-19 Championship after beating Bhutan 3-0 in Dhaka, Bangladesh yesterday. Starting the match in a dominating fashion, India's Sumati Kumari opened the scoring in the 7th minute. India will next play hosts Bangladesh tomorrow. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. National capital Delhi will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will vary between 7 and 22 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was 18 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be around 31 degrees. Chennai is also expected to witness partly cloudy sky. Kolkata will have mainly clear sky. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Jammu will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Leh is likely to witness mainly clear sky. Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky. Muzaffarabad will have generally cloudy sky. Visakhapatnam will have partly cloudy sky with haze.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Kovind marks Bangladesh liberation in Dhaka. PM to lead 1971 war victory celebrations in Delhi is a top front page headline in the Tribune. All dailies have mentioned about the government's investment to boost semiconductors. The Economic Times says government announces 76,000 crore rupees scheme for chip ecosystem. Cabinet clears push to raise marriage age of women from 18 to 21, notes the Indian Express. As part of the proposed electoral reforms, the Times of India reports Cabinet clears draft bill for linking Aadhaar and voter ID. The Pioneer writes jabs by US drug makers less effective against Omicron. In a tragic development, lone survivor of IAF chopper crash passes away, writes The Hindu. And finally, UNESCO adds Durga Puja to Intangible Cultural Heritage List, declaring it as the best instance of public performance of religion and art, writes The Statesman.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address valedictory session of National Conclave on natural farming at 11 a.m. today. Union Cabinet approves implementation of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana for 2021-26. Government also approves 76,000 crore rupees scheme to boost semiconductors and display manufacturing in the country. President Ram Nath Kovind to attend Bangladesh's Bijoy Divas celebrations in Dhaka this morning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lead the nation in commemorating 50 years of India's victory over Pakistan in 1971 war. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in Kulgam district of Jammu and Kashmir. UNESCO adds Durga Puja to its representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. United Nations nuclear watchdog IAEA and Iran reach an agreement to reinstall cameras at Iranian nuclear site. India bags 3 more medals at Commonwealth Weightlifting Championships in Tashkent, taking total tally to 12. And Indian women's football team beat Bhutan by 3-0 to secure their second consecutive victory in SAF Under-19 Championship in Dhaka. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.